Don't know how to begin this without sounding insane, so I'll just say it plainly. I watched my own funeral. Front row. Hidden in a black hoodie. Breathing quietly. Heart pounding. Listening to people mourn me like I was already in the ground. Rise Untold told me to start where it hurts, not where it makes sense. So here goes. My name is Adele Parker, and according to half my family, I died on April 18, 2021. I didn't. But a part of me definitely did. It started with a phone call I wasn't supposed to hear. 3 years ago. My husband, well, ex-husband now, thought I was asleep when he walked into the kitchen. I heard him whispering, low and urgent. She can't know. No, I told you, she won't make it to the weekend. Yes. The insurance will clear. Insurance. Won't make it to the weekend. He didn't know my heart dropped into my stomach. He didn't know I was standing in the hallway, hearing everything. He didn't know I realized, right there, right then, that the man I married was planning to kill me. That night, I stayed awake with one thought pulsing through my skull. I have to disappear before he makes me disappear. People like to say survival instincts are loud. They aren't. They're whispers. Quiet. Precise. Cold. I left at 4:12 a.m. while he slept, using the same discipline I learned from years of panic attacks: breathe slowly, move slowly, don't think too far ahead. I took nothing except my ID, my phone, one backpack, in a fear I couldn't swallow. I drove to a rest stop and stayed there for hours, shaking, thinking, rethinking, second-guessing every breath. Until something insane happened. My cousin called me, screaming, crying, telling me she'd gotten a call from the sheriff's office. Adele, they found a body. A woman. My age. My height. My hair color. And my car? Burned next to her. My husband identified the remains as me. That's the moment I understood. He didn't need to kill me. He'd already found someone who looked like me, and let the world believe it was me. My funeral was scheduled for Saturday. And here's the part I'm ashamed to admit. I went. I wore a hoodie. Glasses. Mask. Sat in the far back. No one recognized me. The chapel smelled like lilies and perfume, death's favorite scents. My picture was on a poster board at the front. I hated that photo. My husband chose it. I looked tired. Unhappy. Small. He spoke first. He cried. Loudly. Showy. Performative. He talked about our beautiful marriage. Our unbreakable bond. How he couldn't breathe without me. I watched him lie to an entire room while holding the same hands that arranged my fake death. I felt rage rise in my throat like poison. Then my sister walked up. Her voice cracked when she said, "I wish she told me she was hurting." My mother couldn't speak at all. She just held the casket with a stranger inside, and sobbed like her heart was collapsing. And that broke me. Because leaving saved my life, but it destroyed theirs. My funeral lasted 82 minutes. I didn't cry until minute 83, when I heard the softest sound in the room. A small gasp. My niece. 7 years old. She walked toward the casket and whispered, "Aunt Adele, if you can hear me in heaven, I forgive you." That's when the guilt hit me so hard I couldn't breathe. I ran out of the chapel before my legs gave out. I hid behind the building, sobbing into my hoodie, knowing for the first time that disappearing wasn't freedom. It was death in a different form. I didn't contact anyone for months. I lived in motels. Cheap rooms. Cash payments. Rarely staying more than one night. But hiding becomes its own prison. Silence becomes its own coffin. Rise Untold found me after a woman at a shelter recognized me from my death photo. They didn't judge. They didn't sensationalize. They listened. Tell us why you really disappeared, they said. It wasn't fear that made me talk. It was exhaustion. For the first time, I told someone the truth. My husband had taken out 2 life insurance policies. $750,000 each. He'd been seeing another woman. He wanted the money, the new life, the blank slate. I was in the way. The sheriff didn't believe me at first, until Rise Untold helped me gather everything. Phone records, GPS pings, the burner number he used, search history, insurance documents, the messages he deleted, but not well enough. It took 6 months. 6 months of digging. 6 months of reliving my funeral in nightmares. 6 months of replaying my niece's voice whispering forgiveness to a corpse that wasn't me. Then the day came. The sheriff knocked on my motel door. "We're reopening the case," he said. "We believe you." My husband was arrested 2 weeks later. Charged with insurance fraud. Evidence tampering. Attempted murder. I didn't attend his hearing. Some funerals don't require your presence. Rise Untold asked me the final question, the one I've avoided my entire life. If you could go back, would you still disappear? I closed my eyes. I thought about my mother sobbing into an empty casket. My sister blaming herself. My niece forgiving a ghost. And I whispered the only answer that felt honest. I didn't disappear to save myself. I disappeared because no one else was going to save me. But I wish I didn't have to die to learn what being alive truly means. So here I am. Alive. Not hiding. Not running. Not pretending. Alive and finally seen. And that is why I came to Rise Untold. Because some stories bury you. And some stories resurrect you. This one did both.